Hey everybody! How you doing tonight?
Happy Tuesday.
Right? It's Tuesday, but it sure feels like a Monday.
For real. Nice to see you guys.
I got Justin and Scott here tonight.
Whoa.
So, hey everybody! They're just kind of chilling with me. We're gonna do some pictures and shoot some footage for Crimson actually later for some content. So kind of hanging out in the meantime. They're gonna be on the show with us.
Heck yeah! Can't wait.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat that's been hanging out. John Lindsay, ACL Wolf.
Yeah.
Canamus.
Default Behavior. Hi there. Haven't seen your name in there before. John. We got Canamus. Hi Mary. AC Wolf. All right, guys.
We got Default Behavior. What up?
Yeah. So tonight we've got a really special guest. We've got Mary and Jacob. They are with Spiritkeepers NAC, which is Native American Church. And they are here tonight to talk about religious freedom and how it impacts plant medicine. And then also they are growers personally, and because they produce their sacraments. And then also Mary has a special ability that she's going to tell us about a little later tonight. But because this episode is going to be so long, just there's so much information here that could help you, could help, friends of yours in the future. You just never know. It's great information to keep in your back pocket. Or if you want to, actually explore more into it, Mary would be happy to help you on that side of things. So on that note, let's go ahead and bring our guests on. Hi.
Hello.
It's not me, it's just them.
So we got the crew in here tonight. And everybody, this is Mary and her husband Jacob. You can say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hey there. So
Yay! Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Much love to you all in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got a little crew going there.
So let's get backstory. Let's learn more, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of thought maybe we'd start with your history and with cannabis and kind of how the church came into play, your Michigan grows and just kind of everything that led you to today.
Okay. Well, cannabis plant and I have had a special relationship since I was young. I've been involved with cannabis since middle school. And it was always something that I had a connection with. And then Mary and I got together, and we actually started. We were caregivers starting in 2008. And I don't know if you want to go from there.
So we started as caregivers in 2008, and it was brand new to the state of Michigan in 2008. And as with anything new, there's a lot of gray areas still. They didn't know exactly how things were going to be implemented. And initially, when you talk about medical, you would think that HIPAA protection and protection of people's personal information would be important. But unlike pharmaceuticals, if you're part of the medical marijuana program, police are allowed to call and access that information, right? So it kind of defeats the purpose of, if you're going under a medical marijuana program for your medical, for medicine, and you're getting a doctor's referral, yet the police still could pull and see who caregivers were, who patients were. And in Michigan, it became very targeted because they had what was called asset forfeiture. And asset forfeiture is supposed to be basically where they could go after criminal operations, and they actually targeted a lot of caregivers and medical marijuana patients. And I want to say it was around 2015, 16, when it was 2016 when I got involved with the church. I actually went out to Utah and did my first peyote ceremony in Utah. And I was working with a gentleman in Michigan who had a branch of this Native American church, And he was providing Rick Simpson oil for cancer patients and for people with epilepsy and things of that nature, because the way the rules were written, technically, you couldn't grow enough medicine and you couldn't provide like the RSO even as a caregiver. You know, it was just, it left you open. So we were at, what was it, High Times Cannabis Cup with, he had a booth, he invited us out, and...
20 time with Jason?
No, Medicine Man Bob.
Oh, Medicine Man Bob.
And he worked directly with,
yeah, him and
what was his
guy.
name from Canada? The guy who invented Rick Simpson.
Rick
He
Simpson.
used to deal with Rick Simpson. This gentleman's deceased now, but he used to deal directly with Rick Simpson, and that's kind of how the journey started. Was for me, I decided that, you know, these plant medicines are actually, you know, they have spirit in them, and that's what heals people, is the spirit. And in the indigenous cultures, they use these medicines. They're not just for rec use, which I'm not judging, obviously, but, you know.
I'm not a rec user.
But, you know,
I'm a straight medicinal user. Like, occasionally, if there's an event going on, I'm going to indulge and be a rec user. But if you're really smoking good medicine, anything after those first couple puffs is rec.
Yeah, I mean, I smoke religiously, you know, all the time, and I keep myself at the level, you know, and
yeah,
that's just how I live, and I've done it for years. But I have a different relationship with cannabis than most people, you know. It's a real spiritual thing for me. So.
Yes, sir. And
I think
so,
I
like
understand
many
that.
cultures.
What'd you say?
Like just like many other cultures, like can't think of the top of my head right now.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a lot out there that use many different forms of medicine for the spiritual, and I'm still in, you know, kind of a confused state of, you know, like most, like trying to get a better understanding of the world.
The purpose of the Native American Church is that the plants are teachers, and that's what the whole plant medicine's about. Is that the actual plants are what teach us. The plants are what make us the people that we should be. They bring out the best in who we should be, and that's what we believe, and that's why we always use, everything's clean with every operation we have. No pesticides, no PGRs, nothing like that, you know. And then also the mushroom grows they're laboratory. It's, you know, fully professional laboratories, because we really take care in it, you know. And we pray with the sacrament, you know, every day. When I go into my facility, I pray before I work, and I work with the medicine, and that's just it's a different approach. And it helps you actually to be able to listen to what the plants are telling you when you actually have an interaction with them at that level, you know. So, and all the different plant medicines are different types of teachers, you know, and they're not for everyone. So that's why with our church we offer all different types of medicine, you know, because there's all different types of needs for people to get to where they need to be for themselves. So.
I think you said it best when you talked about levels, because there is different levels to the spirituality, and some people connect with cannabis, some people connect with mushrooms, some people, or psilocybin, some people connect with peyote, some people eventually go into different medicine, such as, for example, your ayahuasca, your San Pedro, you know, bufu, combo. The thing is, if you want to go back, I believe that the Americas were all one, and the indigenous people are all one, and the medicines are a lot of times, like, for example, when you do peyote, you want to go into the desert if you're able to go, because you want to be around the same spirit, like the land spirits, where these actual plants have been procured and where they've grown, naturally. But if you can't, you can have ceremony in other areas. You just want to make sure, like, for example, when we do ceremony, we bring in medicine people, shibus, shamans.
The biggest thing is that you respect the medicine, and that being said, you respect the medicine, how it's supposed to be cared for in whatever ceremony you're doing, wherever it is, and that's usually done through prayer and ritual, so right.
And it connects, and then another belief, our belief is this is what connects us to our higher power, so we utilize the sacraments to connect to our higher power and in prayer. And there's a big thing, like, some people will talk about, is it okay to mix medicine? I can't tell you whether it's right or wrong, but my teachings have always been, if you're going to sit in one ceremony, you shouldn't be going into that ceremony unless you have cleaned your system out, for example. A lot of medicine people tell you to prepare before going into ceremony,
Yeah.
So
for some of the more intense ceremonies, like ayahuasca and even intense mushroom ceremonies, you're supposed to clean your system out for a month and live with a no sugar diet.
No meat,
vegetarian,
no alcohol.
No alcohol.
If you're on prescriptions, you need to make sure
you have to be off them for 2 weeks at least. And if you can't do any psychotropic prescriptions like Prozac or anything like that, because there could be complications with it. So there's a lot of different things that go on with the stronger medicines like the ayahuasca and things like that, because they're really intense, and it's it can be dangerous if you're on other drugs that tell somebody, so there's a whole interview process that you have to go through to do those things.
And sometimes it's starting in baby steps. People who may smoke cannabis and partake in cannabis may decide to go and do mushrooms first. And then after mushrooms, a lot of times it depends on the medicine people. I have medicine people that say, hey, we should start out with the San Pedro because it opens your heart chakra, for example. You don't want to jump to a heavy duty plant medicine. But these plant medicines, we also work with the medicine wheel, and the medicine wheel is balancing yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And if you're out of balance in one area, you're out of balance in all areas. And in order to get yourself emotionally and spiritually aligned and mentally aligned, a lot of times that takes, these medicines bring out trauma. They help you connect to things that will help you heal. If you understand what I'm saying,
what you're saying is, instead of burying it deep down, it brings it back out and makes you deal with it.
Oh, right, the right front face and surface.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have people, I had somebody say to me, your DMT pen that, we did we did DMT ceremony and it was broken. And I said, okay, well, let me ask you something. Were you, what kind of diet do you have? And the person was like, well, what do you mean? What kind of diet do I have? If you have if you're not eating clean, if you're eating a lot of garbage and unhealthy food, if you partake in alcohol regularly, like we haven't drank in 13 years?
No, it's
14?
12 years.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just something that we decided that it was something that we didn't want in our lives.
Well, I quit drinking because I come from an Irish family, and everyone drank, and I just wanted to stop. I am.
I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin. It's cold as hell up there. You guys are Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all drink up there. Everybody in the northern Midwest drinks. If you're above that, especially if you're above that middle of Michigan and middle of Wisconsin line, and you're going up there, it's it's cold. Yeah, I grew up on Lake Michigan on the Wisconsin side, about 30 minutes from Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cold up there.
So
I visit once in a while.
Just doing sweat lodge and without even having any medicine involved in it. If you do sweat lodge with the right people and you do it the right way, I mean, it can bring out a spiritual awakening and a cleansing of your soul just in a good sweat lodge. You know, I've been in sweat lodge with people where they couldn't handle the sweat lodge because they had so much demons. I could feel it. You know, Mary and I both are shamans. We both have different abilities as well. So when we go into these situations, you know, you feel everybody else that's around you. You know, and especially
I love you too, Crystal.
especially when you're in an EP and it's you know, really hot, and you guys everyone's singing and you got the grandfathers going. It turns into a teaching, and the actual rocks start talking to you. You can ask spirit questions and you'll get answers, and you don't even have to be on medicine. So it's all about the ritual and the camaraderie and the fellowship of the people you're with. You know. So,
and it's the intention too. If you actually sit and put intention into your medicine, even with cannabis, you know, if you sit there with your cannabis before you smoke it and you set your intention of what you want from that spirit, and I'm going to tell you, cannabis spirit can kick your butt sometimes too. You know, like she takes me out of body all the time.
Mary doesn't really mess with cannabis. It's too much for her.
It takes me out of body.
No, what it does is what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to bring you into yourself more, and that's what it actually it's hard for a lot of people because it makes them completely have to be themselves, and it takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. Like, I've been smoking since I was in 5th grade. I still, you know, sometimes you get to that point where, okay, you know, because it brings you to yourself, and you have to deal with all your own thoughts, emotions more vividly than you would normally. But it's a good tool too to keep you sharper and to get things if you can use it, you know.
There was somebody asking if I believe Jeremy was asking if we put intention in when we grow it, and yes, we do set our intentions when we grow the plants. You want it.
Yeah, well, he was saying while you're growing it, even while you're growing it, you know, more of a general statement.
Every day
I'm
in the garden.
Grow with intent, consume medicine with intent.
It's more than intention. I talk to my plants, and
it's spiritual. So I understand.
I have, you know, people would think I'm weird if they see me in my grow room, you know, like that, but you know, it's what I do. It's my counseling.
Everybody has their own ways of maintaining their peace.
Yeah. So.
And connecting with life itself, the life forces, and what I've been to a few shamanic healing sessions, Reiki sessions, sound healing, but you gotta be consistent. You gotta keep going. You know, put the work into yourself as life is putting work into you.
So what it really is about is it's not about where you go or what sessions you've done or anything like that. It's really about how you want to walk each step you walk. And if you can be consistent and look and being present and always be the same, then you're always being ceremony, and your whole life will be a ceremony because you're always in that spot of being present in that moment. And that's what I strive to, because it's like what Bruce Lee would be. You know, it's like the same type of mantra, and that's like in my opinion, if you can get to that level, then you're it. So that's what I strive for, you know.
I like it.
Yeah. But,
you know, you talked about doing shamanic work, and a lot of it too is not just the actual act of, you know, the ceremony, because there's an integration that takes place, because, you know, you do the ceremony, and depending on the medicine you do, you may, like peyote for me, the first time I did it was 10 years of therapy in a 3-day weekend. Because we did 3 straight days of peyote, and then we did a sweat lodge as well. And it changed my life. I mean, it literally changed my life. I don't suggest it for everybody because I didn't even realize what I was getting into. Spirit just said, go. And that's been my life. We've ended up in Canada driving 5 hours for ceremonies before, and we didn't even know where we were going. You know, like,
It was fun when we got there.
It was fun when we got there, but until we got there, it's just, we've been on this wild ride spiritually where we just don't know, you know, where we're going to end up. We just basically follow where Spirit sends us. But the most recent experience would have been a couple of months ago, and we did a ceremony, and it was a shaman or medicine person who has lived in South America, and myself and Jake, and then a girlfriend of mine who's a Celtic shaman. And it was intense having that many, like, spiritually, how would I say it? All of us have very unique abilities, you know, like I'm a psychic medium.
We're all the high vibration, you know, like, you know, you can feel it around you.
Have you guys ever heard of Edgar Casey?
Yes.
Yeah.
The sleeping. Yep.
Before I moved a couple months ago, I did their landscaping. So there was a lot. I talked to people there. You know, I'd be on the land, I'd be working on their stuff, and just, you know, started striking conversations with people, and it was very interesting. But I was still trying to learn the place. It creeped me out. Like, not like the people there didn't creep me out. It was just like, there was just some vibe with it that it wasn't a bad creep out. It was more like, I'm not familiar with this, so I'm scared. So it was, and I wasn't scared. It was just a weird feeling where it was just, and I've gone through some really creepy, awesome haunted buildings and stuff, been a part of haunted attractions for a while, and then, or in the past, and I just was like, there's something powerful here, and I get it. I don't know what it is. It wasn't an uncomfortable creep. I don't even know, like, a good way of saying, like, it was a strong vibration I felt while I was on the property every time I went there, and I was there like once a week, because they gotta get their lawn cut, they gotta make the bushes look pretty and clean their pond. But good people there, and I just want to know if you've heard of that place, because most people have heard of this, like, what they call a hub in Virginia Beach, or on the East Coast. I guess it's like a spiritual hub or a portal, something like that.
It's Edgar Casey. He was the sleeping prophet, and he basically, everything that he has said, a lot of it has come into fruition. As far as his place, not off the top of my head, but there are a lot of places that you can visit, like the Lake of the Ozarks, for example. The Lake of the Ozarks is wild. It's one of the most intense places I've ever been. We stayed in a hotel, and my 12-year-old is she feels things as well, and she hears things. And it's like when they know that you can hear them and see them, they actually try to provoke you sometimes. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes when we were at the hotel, they kept knocking on our door and there was nobody there. Like,
and it could be pranksters. Could be pranksters.
Oh, they are, you know, and actually it was funny. Kelly and Destin and Scott and myself we were eating, and we were sitting there, and I looked at them and I go, you know, this place we're in is haunted. And they kind of looked at me. They're like, well, yeah, kind of weird stuff happens around here, right? And all of a sudden I look up and there's a Civil War guy standing in the doorway, and I could, like, describe him to a T. And then we're sitting there talking again because I'm ignoring everything going on. And literally, Kelly, tell them what happened when we were sitting there, and it just came, like,
yeah, it just literally walked, like, right up to you, like, and you were like, no, not right now.
So then it came over the table and got everybody cold, because
Yeah,
that's
we
what
can feel
spirits do. They freeze you out. Like,
You know, I like that part when they're nearby. That's how you know, just walking through old abandoned buildings we used for haunted attractions. You just get that cold Either they pass by or pass through, and then it's gone, or you find it again in another area of the room.
Yeah, your hair just stands up.
And it's not a breeze. It's just it just turns cold.
Yeah, it's no wind
like
whatsoever. Dead air.
You know? Yeah. Yep.
But it came through and it was like, it just froze the whole table that we were sitting at. And you just, everyone kind of looked up and we all looked at each other and I'm like, yeah, it's here. It's trying to get our attention. Yeah, as far as the church, so we started in 2016.
All right, so I was adopted, and I'm a naturalized citizen of Tuscarora Nation. My whole family, and I became really close with the chief of the Beaver Clan. He's my best friend. We're brothers now, and he has one of the original charters of the NAC from Jim Eagle, and he gifted us a charter of the Native American Church. And that's where our church branches off from. So our church is actually an arm of the tribe. So it's a different type of Native American church. It's not just like, okay, we're a Native American church. No, we come from the tribe, and we're an arm of the tribe, and we're tribal members as well. So that's one thing I wanted to add about it. But.
Yeah, and we are unique because most Native American churches, the like old school straight up NACs, they're peyote, and there are still a lot of people who do not accept other medicines like we do. A lot of the NACs won't, they're straight peyote. But when I filed our paperwork with the IRS, and we wrote up all of our bylaws and, our constitution and everything that we did, I included all plant medicine because I feel it's important. We included all plant medicine because we feel it's really important not to discriminate because there is spirit in all these plants.
So one of the biggest things about our church is that we accept everybody of all cultures, all religions, and all faith, and all spiritualities to be part of it, because we believe that the plants that are the teachers, and the teachings aren't coming from us. So that's and the plants can help all cultures and all people. It doesn't have to. So we're not out to try to change anybody's ideals or core beliefs in any way. We're just out there to enhance them as human beings and make them more spiritual beings that are better people all the way around. And that's what the plants do for people, in our opinion. So,
I like it.
So, you kind of want to bring, like, how you went from Michigan to Missouri?
Yeah, you can tell them.
What part?
I mean, what do you want?
Do you want to talk about the 18 or no?
I don't know.
Sure.
Okay. So in 2018 on the spring, I was in California meeting with, at that time we were with a different branch of the Native American Church, and I was out there meeting some of the leaders in California, and I was flying back in to go into a ceremony the following, like within a day or two. I want to say it was the 20th, which is was it the summer or spring solstice or equinox?
Spring.
It was spring. So I flew back. Yeah, it was the spring equinox. We were supposed to drive and go into ceremony for the equinox, and we had a bunch of our church members coming over our house to meet up. Or our church. Our house was actually the church, and we had a cultivation, a sacramental cultivation on our property. Okay, so we had the house and the cultivation, and then we had a teepee on the property, and there was a mini house in the back. Okay, and then there's running water in the back of the property, which was all on about just under an acre. And Jake had just come in from California, right? You were in California too, but he was up in the Emerald Triangle.
Yeah.
And I was down in I apologize.
You were in San Francisco.
I was in the San Francisco area.
At that meeting.
I was at a meeting and flew in, and on the morning of the 20th, our lives changed forever. Oakland County sheriffs came in on us. There was a group of us at the house that morning, and Jake had just arrived in the RV, and they came in with full fatigue. I mean,
it was like,
AR-15.
Battle rattle.
How they do,
I'm
Full
like,
battle rattle.
I mean, we're sitting. I'm like, and I just looked up at him. I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of here. We're in the middle of a church ceremony, or we're here gathered, and this is our church, and you guys are not the feds. I said, unless you have federal warrants, get the fuck out of my house. I was so upset. I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it. I'm like,
too.
you need to get, I went up to them and I'm like, do you have a federal warrant? Are you guys feds? And they were like, no, we're, and anyways, I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about it. And they were the local sheriff's
So come to find
office.
out, all right, I was charged with, I think, 14 felonies.
No,
or 13 felonies. Mary was charged with 11, I think. And then there was 3 or 4 other people that were charged.
There was 5 of us total.
5 total. And it ended up being what ended up happening is our lawyer set us up because, and it was just a total thing. It took 4.5 years. We fought it. We were going to take it to the Supreme Court. I got everybody else off. I paid for everyone's lawyer through the church, and we got everybody off first, and I was the last one. They wanted to give me 45 years in prison. Okay, because we had 700 pounds, 50 pounds of wax, 2,000 THC and CBD pills, and a bunch of stuff. And it was all sacrament and inventory. And at the time, we had 1,000 members on our church.
Or more, because we were actually supplying for.
Well, there was 1,000 members in just our church, but we were actually combining with we were working with 2 other churches at the time, which had their own
networks.
Too. Yeah. So we had 300 members in Kansas City area as well at the time that joined our church. So that's the reason why we ended up coming back.
Yeah.
It's because we had people here that we knew.
But we were supplying the medicine and sacraments for the members of the churches in areas where, the reason that we thought it was really important at that time, there was not very many states that were even legal. And we were actually helping. There were tribes that were pro-cannabis, and there were some that we were providing medicine and sacrament to actual, tribal members and what have you. And we were also providing sacrament medicine to our church members.
Yeah. So anyways, we fought it. I ended up getting all the charges dropped, and they got. But it took 4.5 years, and it took me. We lost millions of dollars, but we kept going, and we never stopped. And we've been in Missouri for 4 years. We've been doing the church low key until recently. We just had a few members and a few things, and now we brought it out to the public since last 3 months. Mary started going, and then I started coming up to these events and meeting people, and it's been a great time. We've met a lot of great people, and it's I think it's going to really start helping a lot of people immensely, and I'm really excited about the future.
Awesome.
That's the way to go.
But yeah, so we've got presidents in our church too. So they've already charged us with every major cannabis felony that you
in the state of Michigan,
that you can be, period. And they had to drop them all. So that does save something for our freedoms. It took us to.
Well, they made me take a crazy plea deal. It was a crazy plea deal. I am actually going to go back.
All of her charges are off her record, though.
They expunged my 4 possession charges, misdemeanors.
It was scary. It was a scary situation. They tried to take our kids. I had to move my family to Las Vegas, like temporarily, and it was crazy. But luckily, we're natives, so ECWA got involved, and they weren't able to take our kids, and so that was a big relief. But it was a long Sundance, is what they said. You know, it's been a long time coming. It's been 8 years of a battle, and we're coming back to shine, and we're gonna end up helping a lot of people, and I know that for a fact because that's just what we're here to do. That's our mission. I mean, we're building it step by step. We've got a sanctuary now in Blue Springs where people can come in. Mary works there. I have a cannabis facility that supplies the church for now, and then we're going to intend to grow that once the church grows bigger than it needs to be, and then we've got networks with other churches that we have supplies for the mushrooms for, and other things that we use for sacramental use. So yeah, everything's coming together, and that's about it. So does anybody have any questions or anything?
Yeah, so excuse me, how would religious freedom protect the average individual if they were to, say for example, if they were to become part of a church, an actual 501c3, a full pledge, or native, and let me go into a step further, not just that, but a Native American church?
All right, so we've had multiple church members over the years get arrested in states where it wasn't legal to have what they had, and their defense is that's not a trouble. So it is a legal offense. You have to. I mean, why don't you tell them?
Well, with the Native American Church, obviously we automatically have a DEA exemption for peyote.
And
okay.
mushrooms.
Well, it's actually,
Yeah.
but we are federally protected automatically for peyote. But there's your First Amendment religious freedom right. So if that's the thing, is that a lot of states forget that federal law trumps state law. And I always get people saying to me, well, in the state, you can't do this, or in this state, you can't do that. And they forget that, over and above the state laws is federal laws. And there's the Religious Freedom Restoration Act that comes into play. There is the American Indian Religious Freedom Act when you're part of a Native American church that comes into play. And it all depends. There's a lot of cases that have set precedents for these for these plant medicines.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of understanding the cases that have set precedents. And what's unique, and Kelly knows this from me, the way that I do it is I actually will contact, when I came into Missouri and I opened my location, I contacted the Missouri Medical, or the Marijuana Cannabis Board, Regulatory Board, and I said, listen, I'm not a dispensary. I'm not acting as a dispensary. I am a church, and this is my religious freedom. And, I sent a letter to the DOJ, or the Department of Justice, and the prosecutor.
No, the state attorney general.
The attorney general, all state levels, state police,
the sheriff,
and my
local city
chief of police.
Yeah.
And when I go into a city and I vend an event, to give you an example, I vend up in Camden, Missouri, okay, at some of the resorts. I have sent letters out to everybody, from the mayor's office to their local police department to their city prosecutor, and I say, hey, this is who I am, this is where I'm going to be. If there's an issue, you need to address it beforehand. And the thing is that on a federal level, they have already, there has been so much precedent set by churches. And as long as you are filed properly and you operate properly, you won't have an issue. And that's the thing, is sometimes people don't understand. They're like, well, why do I have to join the church?
there's bylaws and there's rules to being part of the church, because that's just how it has to be for us to be able to legally do what we do, and that's it. As long as we stay within our rules, then yeah, you're protected. If you step out of the rules, if you step out of the circle, then you're not.
That's good to know. That's some good information to know for sure.
I'm learning a lot right now. I'm just sitting here listening.
I don't know. Usually you're pretty talkative, so.
I'm just absorbing.
Yeah.
You guys got some good knowledge.
Yeah, just tell them. I don't know if
So
you can hear that. I
somebody was
apologize for the
interested-
noise in the background.
Sorry. If somebody was interested in reaching out to you, where can they find you at?
So I have a brand new website that is about to go up live probably within the next 7 to 10 business days. But I do have a I'm on Facebook under Spiritkeepers Native American Church. Or what we did was we have also gone under the Friendly Fellowship, because people were, as soon as you say church, it's like people run in the opposite direction, you know? And when you go up to somebody and you're like, hey, you can join a fellowship, it just feels better. You know what I mean? It's a lot more warm and fuzzy. So, yeah.
Well, it's more what we're trying to create, you know?
Right, and
or what we are creating.
Right.
You know, we've made friends, and you know, that's the thing, is it's about community, and it's about helping each other and sharing each other's thoughts, you know, and you know, especially with the plants. And that's like she was talking about the integration part. She never finished about that, but it's after we had this, we did Enigma mushroom ceremony with a medicine person. We had to do integration with him, and he came back a few times and basically counseled us through how and what the mushrooms taught us through this. So I mean, there's a bunch to it, you know.
See, normal people, when they do mushrooms, they may have a journey, and then there's sometimes people who have like a major journey, and mine was 6 hours long, and I went through what they call a death. I was told that I had died. Okay, it was
shamanic death.
They actually put blankets on me. It was 110 degrees, and I was freezing.
Yeah.
And they threw like 5 blankets on me because I was so cold. I kept complaining about how that was the only thing I kept saying was, I'm really cold, just put blankets on me. But a lot of things came through during that experience, and it was very life-changing. And this was only a couple months back. So, and now since that has happened, I was sitting with, for example, doing a reading. Now, as a psychic medium, I've channeled before, but I microdose normally. I had taken a couple weeks off of microdosing, so I didn't have any plant medicine in my system. And I kid you not, this male voice came out of me, and it scared me for a minute. I just kind of stopped. And the person I was doing the reading for looked at me and started laughing. And I said, did you hear that? Did that come from me? And she was like, yeah, it was a complete male voice. And she goes, your face changed. And then I went back into the reading, and the male voice came back, and I started channeling this guide. It was a male entity the rest of the reading.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the type of stuff when you do a lot, when you transition through the plant medicines and you really follow the path that you're on. That's for you. That's your.
Yeah,
Everybody's journey.
I was gonna say, we should probably mention that you're also a nationally known psychic. So not all of us have those abilities either, though. So.
No, everybody. You know what? It heightens everybody. It heightens everybody's abilities to what they. I believe everybody does have abilities. It's just that some of us.
They're all different. Everyone's different.
Some of us develop our abilities more than others, and things of that nature. You know, it doesn't make any one person, because I know people who can smell things. I don't have that gift at all. I can't smell. I don't have the gift of smell. You know. Now, I'm going to tell you, Miss Kelly is a very gifted person. I don't know if y'all know that or not.
Yeah.
She is really gifted.
You're making me blush.
So she has
Very talented.
to protect someone that joins. So yes, the church
The
will
church protects
the
you.
church will protect you with the plant medicines that we provide, and it's protected us. I mean, I was looking at 45 years in prison. I don't have any of that. I'm not in prison, so I mean, it was I had to do that for the church, I think. But it is what it is now, and yeah, it works. You just have to believe in what you're doing. I mean, I have a sincerely held belief in cannabis medicine wholly. I mean, all the other medicines as well, but cannabis and I are it's been my companion through everything. And I don't think that without the spirit of cannabis in my life, I don't know if I'd have one. You know what I mean? So it's a different type of relationship for me. So. And that's what it really boiled down to with the case is that they couldn't disprove my belief.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard one.
Because you can't disprove something that's not real, and they knew that. They knew that that it was gonna be, if they just didn't drop all the charges, that it was really bad for them. You know what I mean? So, but it took me standing up. I mean, I had people from my tribe coming in. I had full people in full regalia in the courtroom, with their ribbon shirts on. And
Medicine people from Canada coming
people
in.
from Canada, and I was threatening to take them to the International Court at The Hague for crimes against humanity, because that's what happened. I mean, they came and desecrated our church. When all the police officers were in our home, I had my altar was in the corner, and at the time I had just gotten gifted an eagle staff with an eagle head on it, and it was standing. It was sitting on my altar, leaning against my altar, and the cop that was screaming at Mary called her a dumb fucking bitch. As soon as they did that, the altar, the staff
flew in the air.
Staff went up in the air, flew in the air at the guy,
and no, it cracked a beat. It fell in front of everybody.
Right at his feet. So it was pretty intense. But so. That's the thing. It's like the people, they're always going to try the spirits, the bad spirits are always going to try the ones that are going to try to help the most, so it's all about getting through it and then going on to the next step. And now we're here. So we're going to keep going. And
I think you're right though. Had I not gone through that experience, I would have never have known what people go through in the legal system and how corrupt the legal system is.
See, I'm an old veteran. This wasn't my first rodeo. I've been fighting with the police about cannabis since I was in high school.
I was always I worked a corporate job. I never had any issues, and if you would have told me that transcripts would be scrubbed and warrants would be fake and they lie, cheat, and steal and they're the most corrupt people you'll ever run into, I wouldn't have believed you. And after going through that experience, I can say that it traumatized me for a really long time, and it took a real long time to be able, even now when I do talk to them, I really, really don't trust anybody,
I feel you on that.
It's really hard to trust anybody because the system is so corrupt, and that's the thing is when you end up on this spiritual journey, sometimes you kind of have the blinders on to everything else going on in the world because you just are living, as opposed to worrying about what's on the news, who's doing this, who's doing that. I mean, I think the biggest drama I ever have is my kids coming home from school and talking about what's going on at school, maybe. Yeah, that, and maybe I hate to say it, but people in the cannabis world are like teenagers sometimes, that my world is better than your world type deal, but at the end of the day, we're just all here trying to do the right thing,
I think part of along those lines I like to mention is that I don't want people to get the misconception, because there are a lot of groups out there that are just forming weed churches solely for the purpose of thinking that, you know, they can just go out and have parties and have raves and do whatever they want and, you know, basically be under this false sense of security, but it doesn't work that way. Like, just because you form a 508c does not mean that you are protected.
So
there's so many levels to it.
So the core differences between our church and any other church pretty much out there is because we're tribally sanctioned, and because we're a Native American church that's from the original charter. And there's been case law that proves what we are. We have a dossier of case law that says what we're doing is what we're supposed to be doing. And we've been transparent with the government on everything we do. So like with the 508s and the people that just start churches, they're not transparent with the government. The government doesn't know anything of what they're doing. So that in itself makes it to where they could be possibly misconstrued, or it's not black and white for the government. So it makes them more likely to be looked at or to be messed with, because they don't know what they're doing. We
have a 501c3 too, so we're federally filed with the government. We're not just a 508.
No, that's what I said. 501c3. We are.
No, you said.
No, I said 508s that aren't filed.
Right.
Yeah.
There's.
We're a 501c3.
You don't automatically get a 501c3.
No, it
takes time to get a 501c3, and anybody can say, "Well, I'm a 508." The issue is, once you have an issue with law enforcement or the IRS or anybody else federally, you have to prove that you were doing what a 501c3 is already, like, we already have it. You know what I mean? You have to prove that you're doing what we already have.
Yeah. Instead of they already know what we're doing, and we already tell everyone what we're doing, and we're transparent about everything we do, and we have rules about what we do. And that's the difference. That's what makes us able to do what we do and not worry about it, because we're not doing anything wrong, and we're transparent with everybody. And we're an arm of the tribe. So the first jurisdiction, the original jurisdiction, goes back to the tribe for our church as well. So it's a different layering system. It's not the same, but it doesn't mean that I don't believe in people wanting to have other churches, because I think that everybody should do what they want to do. But I think people should be aware of the differences, and things like that. That's about it. So
how do you know if you go to the right church that has all those safety precautions?
Well, the thing is, you won't know, unless they're transparent with you like we are. It's most churches, I don't know. I don't really know how churches.
Is there a way to access that filing to find out if somebody's a 508 or a 501c3?
Yeah, you can.
You can ask them even, because some of these 508s are unincorporated. That means they just say they're.
So yeah, so
you can do an unincorporated.
To be a 508 church, you don't even have to file anything with anything at all. Most churches like that don't even file with anything or do anything at all. But you can file and be a 508 and file it as a 508, but it's just not as much paperwork, and it's just not the same as a 501c3. You don't get the all the charitable benefit type things and all that. Right. I mean,
it's the charitable, like we're able to access, government money. We're able to accept charity and run charitable events, things for money and donations. So, and the big thing is, when I write these letters to local authorities, I've actually had a sheriff say to me, "I already checked your paperwork. You are filed. I see that you've been, a church since 2016. And he basically said, "I can't tell you how to pray."
No, that's what he did say.
That's exactly what he said. He said, "I can't tell you how to pray." He's like, "This is your religion." And he left it at that. We had a great conversation. So
Yeah, and he also said, "Here's my cell phone."
I also have his cell phone number if I have problems, because he understands that not all law enforcement will understand that. And like I said, even the city I'm in, I have had a conversation with the chief of police in the city that I'm in. You know,
Uh-oh.
I thought it was just my end.
Your
No,
phone
mine
died?
has battery. Hopefully it's not a battery.
Well, yeah, we lost him.
Definitely got some information.
He'll have back in, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want
see
to
that.
ask him
Keep
how,
going.
like, how can somebody from a different state, or I guess how can members find churches like what they are offering, or is
Oh,
it
You don't- I know you don't have to be local. You
I
can
guess it
actually
depends on the
join.
state, because we don't have any of that here.
Well, you can join the Spirit Keepers.
No, I mean, we don't have any of that here.
Right. You don't have to be local, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Okay.
would the laws still cover and all that stuff? Because different
You're
states.
still a
Well,
part of
it's
that.
federal. I get that.
Yeah. And you're still a part of that church organization.
There you go.
sorry, we got booted off.
You got
somehow.
booted off.
Not a worry.
Got it all.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
welcome back?
Continue, Greenier, what you were just saying.
I was just asking, trying to see how members from different states, or does it have to be through you guys, or is it like something that an individual can find anywhere in their own home state?
So we're a national church. We're actually an international church. So you can be in Canada or the U.S. anywhere and be part of our church.
Okay. And then you'd be protected by those.
Yeah, and you're protected the same way you are in every state, the same way, the same protections. So, yeah.
I mean, we can't say 100% that a local police officer will not stop you.
But if something
But
happens,
if something
happens
happens
and you call us, we will be there and we will
Provide the paperwork.
Provide the paperwork to whatever where it is, and you will get off. You know, that's the extent of what usually the worst happens is someone will get either a possession ticket or whatever, and then at their arraignment they come in with the paperwork that they're legally allowed to do it, and then they drop the charges. Is usually how it works in states that aren't legal. But if you're usually the legal medical states, if it's marijuana or cannabis, and it's a church, they just say okay because it's already legal. You know, or even medical states. But you know, we've had problems in some. What state was it? Was it Georgia or Texas or
No, it was Georgia.
with Duke?
Oh yeah, we actually had a guy in Texas, and this
Yeah.
was back in 17, and he did get arrested, and he ended up getting off though.
Yeah,
with the paperwork.
Greenier, we can get you a part of this church.
Yeah. So
He's going through something right now.
The only difference is that if you're not in our local area, the wherever you're from might not know what our church is. But if you're part of our church and something happens, we will provide paperwork and we will be there for you. You know, in the capacity, you know, as long as what you got in trouble with was sacrament. You know, we can't cover you for things like guns and things. Yeah, believe me, we've had people try and call us, go, hey, I got pulled over, I got all this, and we're like, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can't really
I
help
have.
you with that.
I have had calls where it's like, well, I had, MDMA or this or that, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not a plant medicine, I mean, we can't even class it under there.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, as long as you're following the rules and you're definitely protected. Doesn't matter where you're at in the country. So.
And there's been recent cases that are setting precedents for psilocybin, for example. And there's been a lot more ayahuasca churches coming aboard.
And we've also just joined forces with the Eagle Condor Church. So we're able to put
No, it's a medicine man from
yeah,
Eagle
yeah,
Condor.
but-
Yeah.
So we're able to use him at his protection.
When he does ceremony, he's protected under his protections
as well, for the ayahuasca.
as an example. So whatever ceremonies that he is protected for, he brings with him, for example. And for peyote, obviously those are other Native American churches that do the peyote ceremony, but there is a tribe out of Mexico that is peyote and San Pedro and psilocybin, and those medicine people do that type of medicine. I guess where we stand with it, as long as it's plant medicine and you're using it in a good way, we will stand behind you. We will get you the paperwork you need. We will work with your attorneys, and explain everything, get them to pack it out, So.
Yeah.
That's very good to know.
Yeah, and pretty soon we're working on we're revamping our website right now. And one thing we're going to do as soon as we're done with that is we're going to get our card printer back working.
We're eventually going to offer cards for people who want physical cards.
For photo identification that you're part of the church, so you can actually present that to law enforcement. It'll say your rights on the back of it, and that you're with the phone number to call and verify, or a barcode or something that verifies if you're really part of the church or something like that. So we're working on that as well right now. So probably within a month or so, we'll probably have that done, and then we're going to put a mass email out to all the church members to give them the option if they want a card or not. So that'll be one way that'll help that situation. So people are more have tools to inform the law enforcement of who they are and what their rights are. So.
Very good. And then what is the name, or do you have a website available now that they can go to? Is that the...
Right now it's just no, it's actually, no. Right now it's under www.Spiritkeepers with an S, NAC.com. It's just a placeholder right now because the new website that's going to go up is going to be under friendly/fellowship. Yeah, it's just a placeholder, but you can sign up on it.
Perfect. I just want to have a concrete way that they can reach out to you.
We should have the new website up and going with the preliminary, what we've got, in probably a week and a half or something. And it'll be live, and you'll be able to give us donations for sacrament on there, and we can, everything can be, discreetly mailed.
Everything is mailed out. It's nationwide.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like it. Oh, this has been great information. I'm still enjoying like civics. I'm not as talkative tonight, but I'm just been absorbing. Like there's a lot to take in and understand. And
yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing something.
There's just so much information. I don't know what people want to hear about. You know what I mean? Because to me, I live this every day. And it's just a normality. So when people are like, well,
so you want to know, so you guys are growers?
Yeah.
Growers. Do you guys use LEDs or do you guys use HPSs? LED. So I built my facility by myself with like one helper. And,
I just got 2 little tents. It's nothing crazy.
But I've got 144 lights and flower.
Wow.
But I built all the lights myself. I designed and built them. It was quite the feat. It took me I got all those. I had custom aluminum slabs. They were ionized and some other type of thing that they do so the heat disperses. And I bought all the boards from Horticultural Lighting Company, their Diablo series, and I bought all the drivers and I put everything together. They're pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I've been growing since 2006, 2007, something like that. But I started out with 2 lights in my basement, And then I grew that in Michigan. When I left, I had
5 sacrament
I
centers.
had 5 sacrament centers, and I had 180 lights going total. So I've always tried to do more and more and more. I'm a builder by trade. I grew up as a builder with my father. My dad was a builder. I was an electrician for 2 years under my uncle. He was a master. So I know how to do all the build outs and design and build pretty much anything. So that's my background. I'm not afraid to do hard work.
I like it. Me neither.
And then, how about tell them about like your growing style, like your living soil and.
Oh, you said it was all non-pesticides, organic. I would assume everything's organic.
Well, right now I'm using. I use. What's the name of this? I forgot the name of it. Okay, so it's a. What's the name of the new brand I just got?
I'm sorry,
I can't remember.
I can't remember it.
Well, it's they're organic. They're organic concentrates, stable concentrates, and then I use the molasses. I use molasses once a week, and I just
Molasses.
I just water and straight molasses and water once a week to everything, and then every other day it's the concentrated organic compound 3-part system with and then so I have a fertigation system that I built. It's so each room gets shot down. I've got 8 rooms, so I get a crop every week. I've got 8 rooms with 18 lights in each room. I do right now I'm doing 36 plants a room in 15-gallon pots. I want to upgrade and put in tables, and I want to go up to 280 plants in each room in cocoa pots, 2-gallon cocoa pots, and do a sea of green. That's my next investment. Once I get the money up for that, I'm going to upgrade the whole facility. I've got 60 tons of cooling. I've got 8 bedrooms too, but I'm only using 4 of them. So yeah, it's a lot of work. And I do.
I got a 3x3.
Crimson is a breeder, so he actually has his own line. And
Sweet.
his most
Genetics?
recent strain is.
Yeah, I don't work with piss poor stuff. I mean, I do see this as a medicine. This is the one plant that I'm connected to, and I use it for medicinal purposes, and I create strains for medicinal value.
Nice.
And
What do you got?
well, fan favorite right now would be the Holy Moly Donut Shop. It's a baker's dozen from Exotic crossed with jelly donuts from Humboldt.
Oh, okay.
Then I have other people are growing Infected Mind right now, which is my Holy Moly Donut Shop crossed with a Zomberry from Exotic. I like a lot of gassy stuff and a lot of creamies and skunks and musks and things like that. So
We had one of the original OG Cushes.
So yeah, I have
Before we
it.
were related.
No, I still have it.
Well,
Oh,
he
that's
got
a bummer.
it back. Well,
No, I have it. I have it. So
he got it back.
I have
but They took the mother.
Right now I'm running, I think, 11 or 12 different strains. I can't remember them all really. I'm trying to. So one of my favorites is Eastside OG. It's a Cannabis Cup winning strain from Detroit, and I've got a good backstory on it. Okay, I have this friend of mine back in Detroit, lives off 8 miles. His name is B. I've known him since we were in high school, and this was about, I don't know, 12 years ago, right? I had the most killer OG strain you've ever in your life, most gassiest, baddest ass stuff ever. And one of his buddies from the east side, I knew, he got a half a pound from me, and he found a seed in it. And he took that seed, and his name's the Leaf Doctor, as he goes by the Leaf Doctor now. He took that seed and he won the Cannabis Cup 3 times with it.
And that's crazy because nowadays anyone finds a bag seed, they usually throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, so now I got the genetics back from him. So now that's what I have, that genetic again. So now I'm running the East Side OG, and it's a consistent the awesome one. It's my
That's
my
great.
favorite of all the ones that I do because I like gas myself. I'm from Detroit. We always like the gas in Detroit. I had a chem dog strain that like put me on the map there. Like people would be talking about it forever. I mean, it was.
I'm a big chem dog fan. Great chem dog. There's
It
a
was
lot of
so
great products.
strong. It was so strong that you would instantly start sweating. Like if you had diabetes, I wouldn't even let people smoke it because they would go into seizures because it was so strong because it would drop your blood sugar so fast. It was so awesome. I mean, it was some of the best weed I've ever seen. But yeah, I don't have that one anymore. But yeah, I like the gassy strains. I'd like if you have any really good gassy ones, I'd like to try it.
Shout out to our people back home in Michigan.
I'm done.
Oh yeah,
Happy to have you try it out.
Since you're a breeder, I'm sure you've probably heard of Mendo Breath, right?
Mendo.
Let's clarify this.
Okay.
I'm a micro home breeder that not many people have heard of. All right, let's get this.
sounds like you're a mad scientist.
No,
bro.
you're a mad
I'm
scientist.
a guy in a house doing his own thing. That's it.
Yeah, mad
Okay,
scientist.
so we.
But you've got a following.
I'm going to shout out to, and I've got nothing but love for. Everybody knows Gage Green Genetics. They're the best.
I believe
Like-
I've heard of them. Yes, I'm just not familiar.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I heard Gage Green before.
Kelly, you're probably going to want him on your show because I always joke and call Mike the godfather of like the strains because Mendo Breath came from him. So
He's really a brilliant guy when it comes to the genetics.
Sweet.
And he's a brilliant guy, just period. You know, like, just to talk to him, you're always learning something. So it's.
What up, Zombie? Cheers.
What up?
So, what else? Anybody else have any questions or comments or anything?
I think what I'll do is for part two, because we're gonna do
we're
a
doing a
second
part
one
two,
in
right?
2
Yeah.
weeks. I'll kind of put a poll up and let people DM and ask questions. And that way we can have kind of a Q&A next time too.
And I'm gonna
Like,
build
I know
some. Like I'm
there's
taking.
so much information.
Yeah, I'm taking
I'm sorry, I
everything in
didn't
now,
know.
and I'm gonna come up with questions for part
I didn't
two.
even try to tell you much. I was trying to hold back.
yeah, I will tell you too. I want to thank Kelly. Am I allowed to shout out the people up at the lake or not?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I have to thank Jimmy and Mother Nature's for if it wasn't for Jimmy, I wouldn't have met Kelly and Scott and Dustin. Jimmy let me come and vend at one of his Mocana events, and I met some of the most amazing people at his event. Just, you know, from the vendors to the actual attendees, he really puts together great events. So if you are in the Missouri area and you see a Mocana event or an event at Mother Nature's, you definitely want to check it out. And I know Kelly has a lot of love for Jimmy as well. So he's
We all
an
do.
amazing person. He's an amazing
lots
person.
of me.
He really is. And then also we do a lot of vending events. Well, not so much anymore. I'm only going to limit it to a few people. Obviously Mocana, and then probably the Canapalooza as well, which is in November. So maybe 1 or 2 events here and there, but and usually the larger events at the resorts and at the campgrounds. So.
Definitely. Heck yeah.
Nice.
Is
And yeah,
Scott?
so these guys
Dustin
got
in
to meet Jimmy.
is Scott and Dustin in the thing? I can't see him.
Yeah. Yep. They're here.
What's up, Scott?
What's up? How are you?
How you doing, bro?
Good. I've been bouncing in and out. I've had some things.
I
to
missed
do.
you, man. How you doing?
We'll see each other soon.
Yeah,
Okay,
hey.
yeah, well,
Here too. He says hi too.
we'll be up there for Canapalooza and Mocana Fest. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to pull the dates for people to Kelly and let them know that, you know, those are great events if you want to, you know, meet people and, you know, partake in some great medicines. So
Yep. We'll share those on the page and on all our accounts. But yeah, I was trying to say earlier, both Greenier and Crimson got to meet Jimmy. So yeah.
Yeah.
We actually did one of our podcasts at that Growmie getaway event that I did back in June. So we all did our podcast on stage at his event. It was pretty cool.
We met Jimmy the first night we were there at Minefield Cafe or Lounge.
Oh yeah,
Cafe. I always say cafe. I think
first.
because there was like a Minefield Cafe in Milwaukee where I lived for a while. So I always say Minefield Cafe instead of Minefield Lounge. But yeah, we met Jimmy that night because he gave us a private little one-man band show, which was great. And then we got to meet up with him again. I did 3 times. The festival,
and then the kayak trip,
and the kayak trip.
And then the canoe.
Yeah, because he didn't come with us, but we got to meet up with him because he was hanging out at the shack where we get register and all that stuff. So
up at the cabin. Yeah.
It was great, dude. It was fun.
Yeah. Super awesome. Yeah, he did a solo gig for us at our speakeasy event the first night, our meet and greet. So it was really cool. He's really central. I call him Father Canna for a reason because he's like the heart, the hub of our Canna community here. And pretty much everything just ventures out from there. Yeah, Mary got to meet him too. Mary's up in Ohio, and she was down here visiting about a month before, and she got to have her podcast out at Mother Nature's Riverfront Retreat too.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Good times. They fly by so fast.
I know, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean, won't be long before the
guys,
next
we're going to be invited to the next growers.
Growmie getaway.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not just invited. I'm expecting you to be part of it. Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely part of it. We're kind of leaning towards July right now. I'm finalizing some dates just to make sure we don't bump heads with any major events going on. And then I kind of want to coordinate with Jamie again, so that way we're, tied or linked up with Mocana Fest. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, so you guys, you're absolutely part of it.
Awesome.
Now, before we head out or anything, I do kind of, since it's Halloween week, and it is my absolute favorite holiday the whole year. Yeah, most of us, like Crimson too, he used to work at Haunts. So we all got this Halloween background, but we just love it. Is there anything that, because you are a nationally recognized psychic, I had to point that out. So that's why when she talks about spirit talks to me or says this or, mentioning actually seeing ghosts, is because she does reading. She does, she's in it for real. So there's a whole different level there. But is there anything that you'd like to share?
I'm under contract.
Or is there anything message-wise or anything that, and maybe not, it just may not be the night for it. But if there is anything message-wise coming through, I'd love to hear it.
The gentleman over here, what is the one in Texas, I believe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a grandmother that you were real close to growing up that's no longer with us? A grandmother. Close to. She's on the other side.
Yeah.
She's with you. She's with you. Are you Hispanic?
Yep, 100%.
Okay, because we can't see. Okay, I can barely see you because we're on a cell phone. But the reason I'm asking is because I'm hearing abuelita. Okay, I'm hearing abuelita, and she was I'm getting she was very religious. Okay. And I think that's why she comes through, because I work with ancestral energy a lot, and I work with people who have real strong, family tie type deals. And she came through right away, grandma came through right away. I kept hearing abuelita, and it was for you, right away, do you, okay. I believe what she's showing me is you still honor all of the family, and do you do what I mean in our stuff we do what's called a ghost plate a lot of times, and she's talking about making sure to put out the ghost plate during the celebration.
Yeah, totally didn't do that. But yeah, it's, Dia de la Muertes.
Okay,
You normally would bring the like type of gold flowers, and you celebrate them by bringing food offerings and just hanging out with them, with their photos and candles and stuff.
Right. But I understand that, but you're talking about her plate. Like, make sure to have her plate, okay? Just, and I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I have to tell you, and maybe you can check with family if you don't remember this, because she's showing me like one of her favorite dishes. It looks like it was made with peppers, some type of peppers, because I'm getting peppers were one of her favorites, and it was a dish with peppers. Do you know what I'm speaking of?
Probably an aguachile.
Okay, whatever it is, what I'm seeing is this dish, and it's a pepper dish, and it's peppers, and the feel and what I'm getting from her is that it was peppers that were her favorite, this particular dish. So that's what she wants on our plate, okay?
You're gonna be busy.
I'll definitely have an aguachile ready for her.
There you go.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
But don't forget your abuelita, and make sure you give her ghost plate with her favorite pepper dish on it, okay? But she's with you.
Thank you.
Just so you know, she walks with you. She's protecting you, and she sees everything that you're going through, and she says to be strong, okay? She's with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've been a little distance lately, so that's good to know.
Well, even when you don't realize, they're with us, and they protect us, and they guide us, and obviously she had a strong bond, or she's very bonded to protect you, because she, like I said, she came through right away. So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned her. She would always, every time that she would come see us, she would just bring up this story all the time. Like, oh, when you were a kid, you'd have this little like dump truck, and you would haul it around. You fill it with sand. It'll tip over. You'll start getting fussy. You go complain to your grandpa and me, and that one of us had tipped it over just trying to get the intro. Oh man, yeah, I was like, no, it was my grandma, and then go to my grandpa, like, no, it was my, it was vice versa. She was just like, every time that she would come and visit, she would always bring up that story, like it was one of her favorite stories. The other thing was, shut up, old lady, or I'll hit you with the hammer. That's something that I responded to her as I was a youngin'. I know it's not the favorite story, but it's just something that she would always bring up as a memory, and yeah, made me think about it since you mentioned her.
That's sweet.
Yeah, troublemakers.
You know what? But people don't realize a lot of times that they're around us. They're around us more than we realize, and I just want to say that everybody's mediumship is different, and people will call me a lot of times, and or they'll come see me, and they're like, well, I want to talk to so-and-so. And I'm like, listen, this dialing the dead thing is not exactly how you think it works. It's not like I can go, okay, I want to talk to so-and-so, because sometimes other spirits come through that you're not expecting, or even some that you've never met. But as soon as I give a description or what have you, they can go back, and there's pictures, or family will say, oh yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Because I'm only going to tell you what I'm getting. There's no reason for me to, like try to tell you something that I'm not getting. So, and that's another thing too, is I understand, like sometimes people want to connect to certain spirits, and sometimes those spirits are not ready to connect, so. The most interesting ones, though, quite frankly, have been like in haunted places. I used to, when I travel, I try to stay in bed and breakfasts that I know are haunted, just to see if I'm going to have an experience. You know what I mean?
That's actually on our agenda for the Growmie getaway. Is we want to go to the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
for their overnight
All you
tour.
gotta do is be in the Lake of the Ozarks. You guys have so many spirits in the Lake of the Ozarks. I swear, anybody who hears them, sees them, feels them, like, it is a hot spot. I swear, I didn't realize how much of a hot spot Lake of the Ozarks is.
Mhm.
But you know what, Missouri in general, the land here, for some, well, I not for some reason, there's been a lot of battles. There's been a lot of, I've gone on somebody's property and I just stopped because I started seeing a Civil War battle in front of me, you know? It's just sometimes things like that come through in certain areas, you know? But yeah, Lake of the Ozarks is a pretty intense area, so.
I had a really fun time.
Yeah, I had a good time there. I didn't want to leave.
I wanted my vacation to last longer too as well, but I am also planning and prepping for the next one.
Right?
Right.
I got way more to do on the next one. Just like I'm coming in hot. I wanted to this round. I just didn't have the budget for it. I mean, I was able to go. I didn't have the budget for what I really wanted to do while I was there. And it wasn't just go see places, more give back to the people there that support what I do. And I want to bring like t-shirts and hats and sweat and just bring people stuff. I brought some seeds for everybody. That was easier to do than buy a bunch of merch. But this round, yeah, we have some things in the works that I have yet to announce, but we're going to be bringing it to the Growmie getaway. So
Nice.
I'm excited for it. So I can't wait. And I know we're going on the longer than 45-minute canoe trip next time. So I'm excited for that. Like, I want to go on like we went on the 3-hour one, but it was moving too much that day that it took us 50 minutes and we were done with a 3-hour
Yeah.
float.
So you're flying.
I was like,
Yeah, so now I was like, even if it's flowing, let's do the 6-hour. We'll be done in 3.
right.
Or if
We're
it takes till
dragging
4 or
these two
5,
in.
I'm like, that's fine. I like the longer floats because
It's
especially
basic, where
kayaking.
he's at.
You know, with your permission, during that event, if people actually do want reads, I will offer up my services, and to everybody who's there, I'll just do one-on-ones with everybody.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we'll bring it all. We're gonna keep growing this festival,
Oh yeah. Sweet.
and we're gonna keep doing more fun things outside of it too. Because I mean, we spent 5 days there outside of the day of the festival.
Mhm.
You know, it was a lot of fun.
It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah.
That's the plan again for next time. I might even stay till Tuesday. Depends on how much child-free time I get off. But if it's gonna be during summer, that's probably gonna, like, if it's during the week, like my stuff in the future is probably gonna be like a week on, week off between parents in the summer. So I just take the week and make sure it's on the week that I'm off, hopefully.
Yep. That's awesome.
Or I figure it out. Can't bring them with me, sadly.
You need a dad vacation every now and then.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't ever get me time, so I'll take it again. But I like right now, I don't feel like I need another one so soon. So like that did help me a lot going to the one, so it should last me until the next one. I was going through it before I went to that getaway. And I still was entering the unknown after I got back here because I didn't know if I'd have a place to live.
Right.
So
A lot of stressful moments.
it was a stress relief vacation, but I still had some stress to deal with when I got back. But I had a more clear mindset of it's gonna work out. We'll be fine. You know.
We went through
I'm
hell
trying to
or
get
high
up
water to get you here.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I want to come in hot next year and give back and pay my own way.
Yeah.
We got you guys here. That's what was important.
I came with plenty of hugs and crisp high fives.
You guys can just keep me
And
next
seeds.
time. Don't
You
let me
packed
go.
a suitcase
I did bring
of seeds.
seeds, yeah, but to me, seeds is, you know, I got an abundance of those, so it's just like, there, you know, I got extras.
Don't let him down credit. He actually brought a box set. It was in the shape of a coffin, and you opened the coffin up, and then inside were the seeds from there. So he might have one handy. But that was his whole
Yeah,
presentation.
my seeds come like this.
Oh, that's cool. I like
Sweet.
that.
Right now, they have a label on the back. Eventually, they'll have a sticker. And I don't have. Actually, I don't think I have any of these filled right now. Oh wait, yeah, I do. So the inside will be just a seed vial and a foam.
Very nice.
There you go.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
they come like that.
That's sweet.
Shout out to Frankie. Shout out to my buddy Frankie's who makes these for me. But yeah, each strain will come in a different color. Collect the whole set. I wanted to do that about 3 years ago. It's just like, have some kind of coffin-shaped container. I go by Dead by Dawn genetics. So I love horror. I'm a big horror fan. Horror. Don't get it confused, audience. Horror. And I grew up with haunted attraction. I grew up on horror movies, and I'm just a nut for it. So and I carried her to a certain audience, with my genetics. Like it helps me stand out from other breeders because there's a lot of people that are like, well, I like growing, and I like horror movies and stuff. So like I like this guy just because he likes haunted stuff. So
horror movies.
Yeah, I used to when I was.
Everybody loves horror movies. Even people that are just into like goody two-shoe movies, they still like a good horror movie every now and then.
I want one of those coffin boxes.
Well, I mean, I'm already gonna be getting you some of my stuff to begin with because you're interested. So me and Vixen will coordinate that, and it'll come in one of the coffins.
We'll get it for you.
Yeah, we'll make it
Oh,
happen.
I love it. I love the little coffins.
Yeah, if you got something nice and gassy for me, I'd like to try it out.
I'd probably just get you onto my donut shop to start with. It's a good introduction to what I got going on, and then some of the other gassier stuff that's like coming out soon is like I'm working on these Kobe OGs. The infected vines are still new. The jackals are at F2 and going to be at F3 and early by spring probably. But those I still haven't determined how gassy they are because they're still early generations. Still got work to do on them. Still hunting, basically.
Yeah.
So I'd rather send you something to try for the first time that I've put some work in. It's 4th generation right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd send you my Holy Moly Donut Shop, my popular one,
I'll try it
the
out.
bestseller.
And I know he touched on it, but Crimson actually develops his strains based on the medicine that he needs. So he's actually building that phenohunting. He's going off of the qualities of the plant itself for how it affects him as medicine, and then that's what he brings to the world. So it's not just he's trying to develop strains. He's breeding for himself.
I breed for others because I want to. I breed for me because I have to.
Yeah.
But yes, I design these strains around what I am using them for. So my big perm is a Granddaddy Purple Ice Cream Kick. It's my antidepressant. Then I have stuff that helps me with anxiety, and I'm working on this Kobe OG that is my sleeper. What?
I like that name, Big Perm.
Yeah, well, Big Perm, I even though it's not horror related, I'm a big fan of the Friday series. I love the Friday series, so I have Holy Moly Donut Shop from the third movie. I have Big Perm from the first movie, and I want to cross those two and make Uncle Elroy from the second movie.
All right.
Oh, love that.
Because I was like, well, okay, we got 2 Friday movie strains here, and I haven't picked one for the second movie yet. And I was like, okay, Day Day was taken, Chico was taken. I'm trying to think of all the second movie, even what was the other dude's name in the shop with the record store? I can't remember. Day Day's like co-worker. That was taken. Like all these trains have already been named out there, but Uncle Elroy wasn't. And I was like, wait, this would work perfect because I take a strain I made for the first movie, a strain I made for the third, and the second movie will be like a combination of those two. Because I was like, what was Uncle Elroy smoking on that? He was like, so I was like, you're with the Uncle Elroy now. And I was like, I just love those movies. So non-horror related, I wanted to make a Friday series in genetics, but each strain is specifically made for. Pinky was taken too. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't even do Pinky strain. Like, dang it. And you can get that confused with like Pinky in the Brain or Pinky from Friday, or there's a bunch of Pinkies out there. But yeah, what Vixen said, I really do design these after the troubles I have. I have anxiety, PTSD, depression, and I'm bipolar. So I'm literally just honing, and each, like I said, each just alone, each cannabis plant, different strains have different medicinal value, different properties in it. So like, I want to make multiple like morning smokes for me, but my morning smoke is not the same as somebody that likes a high-end sativa that gives you full energy. I'm sitting there smoking a sleeper in the morning. You know, like to others, you know, I like the indica dominant. So what most people smoke in the morning is not what I smoke in the morning. They're like, how do you do a downer to wake up? I was like, it's kind of like
I smoke all of it all the time.
It's kind of like caffeine doesn't affect someone with ADHD. It's kind of like
I think it's because I never come down. So.
See, that's why I can't handle sativas. I have not come across a sativa that works for me. I'm just straight up indica girl. I can do hybrids that are, you know,
all you gotta do is let the sativa go a little longer than it's supposed to. Like
gotta go. Are you high again? Negative. I have remained high since
you'll actually get more fucked up because you'll like be full couch locked.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, if you couch lock one of my strains or grow it to amber it out, like, and I've taken like a purple punch before, and already a heavy sedative to begin with. And I put like 60-70% amber on it. I just let her cook. And I gave it to my buddy Half Skull, and I was like, hey, you try this, let me know what you think. You know, I was just sharing bud with another Growmie, a buddy. And then one morning, you know, 2 days after he got some from me, we were hanging out in Discord, and I was like, what up, dude? You ready to smoke? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what are you smoking on this morning? He's like, that purple punch you sent me. I was like, don't smoke that right now. You just woke up for the day, dude. You want to go back to bed? He's like, I'll be fine. I smoke, you know, talking a big game. And I was like, well, I designed that one for sleep. There's a reason that purple punch is already a heavy one, and then you add 60% amber onto it. It's going to be almost all CBN, dude, of purple punch. And 7.5 hours later, he texts me saying he woke up from his nap.
Whoops.
Like he got halfway through the joint and already said, oh, I'm gonna go start my morning. And he's like, I was like, when did you? He's like, 7.5 hours later, he texts me. He's like, I just got up. I was like, when did you go to bed? About 10 minutes after I got out of Discord. I told you. Well. Because each one of these plants has certain properties by itself, and then it's how you grow it. It's like, are you growing for max potency? Are you adding a little amber? Are you chopping early? Please don't do that. I mean, there's a reason to chop early. I mean, 10% ain't bad either. I mean, most of the time, if I'm just going to, I make a strain, I try out a pheno, I am not putting any amber on it. I'm going to do max cloudy, milky, maybe a 2-3% amber on it, just a few hints. But I really want to see the max potential of the strain by itself before I end up adding couch lock or CBN.
Oh, yeah.
Letting her cook longer. But I also want to see what my strains do with, because if you take Kobe, and this one strain I'm working on right now is a cross of Bubba J and Jesus OG back cross. So the Jesus OG back cross is Jesus OG crossed onto Subcool OG. And then the other half is Bubba J, which is Bubba Kush 76 crossed with Jägermeister. These are all very heavy sedative strains to begin with. Now, the whole mixture, I've had Bubba J by itself, I've had Jesus OG by itself. Both of them are considered sleepers for me, so I'm combining the both, the two. And I expect very heavy results. This is my signature sleeper. Do not smoke this unless you want to use it for bed. That's the whole purpose of why I designed it, or why I made it. It's kind of like any scientist or pharmaceutical person out there that's like, this is for pain relief. Stop boofing it, you know, or something. So, It's like, use as what it's intended for. That's why what I want to do with my strains. Like, this strain is for this. Like, if you're abusing that, then that's on you. Then you're just indulging. That's rec.
Right.
I'm talking medicinal. If I gave you something for sleep, please use it for sleep. At least that's how I see it. Like, why would somebody give me a medicine to take at night that were to keep me awake? I don't want that. Like, I need something to help me sleep. So, or if I need something
really quick.
What?
So you were saying that you actually breed the genetics that you do is for you yourself. I have
Yes.
a question. Is there a way, like, for example, you said, did you say bipolar?
Yeah.
So what exactly does that strain do? How does that balance you out, if you don't mind me asking?
It's when my mind wanders. It's when I'm unmedicated. I become paranoid. I become panicky. I become focused.
Manic.
Sometimes really, I become very manic. I'm a manic depressive. Basically, bipolar, manic depressive, almost the same thing these days.
Right.
A lot of this stuff is actually just ADHD, bipolar, manic depression. They're all categorized in the same spot, or the same circle of life. And I'm stuck in the middle of it going, what the fuck? But I just don't have episodes. I don't have ups and downs. I don't have mood swings. I'm depressed this morning. I'm happy this afternoon. I'm depressed again this evening. I'm very stable. I'm level when I'm smoking. But
What strain
Yeah,
is that?
the swings.
I guess what I'm asking you is, what strain is that? Because there's a lot. I mean, I
Which
know.
one do you use?
Right,
the ones that help me with that, the one that just helps me straight with like bipolar, that I would consider my one that I would go to. Same as the one I would go to for antidepressant, my big perm. Ice cream cake and Granddaddy Purple. The properties in Granddaddy Purple is very uplifting and energetic and antidepressant properties for me. Now, like I said, I'm designing this around me. If my antidepressant strain doesn't give you antidepressant, or that might be because it affects people differently. But that's what it's geared for.
It'd be interesting to have other people.
I find that fascinating, because a lot of times, when I have people come in, and we're working with the different types of medicines, I am a big proponent of obviously not using prescriptions if you don't have to, right? Yeah. And I actually have a woman meeting with this week who she came off of 13 prescription meds and only uses cannabis products now. And she works with a lot of different, she has some type of I don't want to misspeak, but she has some type of a certification that she can work with all types of different patients, right? Medical patients, medical marijuana patients. And we were going to discuss, she's meeting with me because she was wondering how I work with people, because the thing that I've been working with, like I said, is a lot of times I dive in with a reading, and by looking at the past, a lot of times we're looking at, okay, what traumas are not healed, right? For example, and let's face it, most all illness is from emotional and mental health.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that.
So with that being said, I find it very fascinating the way that you're designing these strains, because I believe they could help a lot of people who have a lot of different issues, And
I also want to...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I also want to see myself in the future. I'm just a small home grower right now, but where I visualize myself is in some kind of half grow, half lab, researching the actual scientific properties of the strains I'm creating and working, and giving more data to prove why it's good for this problem you have. I just don't know how to do that because I'm not that smart yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, from a spiritual side.
There's a will, there's a way.
From the spiritual side, what we do is we say, okay, you know what, let's go into ceremony. let's figure this out. And then
Bring
a
it
lot
to
of
fruition. Yeah.
And then a lot of times, like for example, I'm a big advocate for microdosing. I mean, it changes people's lives. It
I
really
would
does.
love to
Not for
be.
everybody,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think those would be very beneficial for people in the future if we can get more and more legalities and everywhere, for those. But I believe microdosing is just like taking your antidepressant.
Exactly.
It's better.
And
Better,
each one of
rewire
those, exactly, because it's rewiring, and each one of those is just like cannabis. Not all mushrooms are the same. You're not going to get the same effects. And if I were a mushroom grower, I'd probably be breeding mushrooms, because I would be like, I like this one, but I like that. If I combine the, it's just how my brain operates. I want to make something. I like being creative too, which is what I'm going to be doing right after this live, is going back to just diving into. I've been making cartoons lately, and I'm having fun with it. I like it. It's giving me zen. It's keeping me busy, because if I'm not busy, I'm in my head. And if I'm not medicated, I'm in my head. So there's two things I have to have all the time in order to not be hurting. I like it. But this plant has gotten me off. What?
Keep yourself medicated. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, this plant has gotten me off of pain narcotics. It's kept me 5 years. I almost don't feel comfortable saying I'm 5 years sober of drinking. It was a personal choice. It was just like, I grew up in northern Wisconsin, like I said, and it was just like, I'm going to change who I surround myself with. And I went from drinkers to cannabis users, and 90% of the people I surround myself with are non-drinkers or have overcome, are sober. But at the same time, I like saying I'm sober because I'm not ashamed that I was a heavy drinker and I didn't like it. But I didn't have a problem with it. I wasn't reliant on alcohol. I didn't need it. I wasn't even that big of a drinker to begin with, but I did drink a lot. Like, it was one of those weird things where, like, it had to be certain circumstances, like at the haunted house every Friday and Saturday night. But when I drank, it was a jug of booze, not a fifth, whole jug. Hello.
Aww. Daddy time.
Yeah, I think it's daddy duty time. We when are we doing part 2?
So in 2 weeks.
It was really nice meeting y'all.
Great meeting you as well. I mean, we went 2 hours tonight, so that was a good part 1 right there.
I know, right? I knew that was going to happen.
Well,
it took me the first hour to learn.
Yeah.
And I had a process. First hour I was absorbing and processing. Then I started talking a lot.
Genetics.
Hello.
Can I say thank you to everybody? And I just want to send love to everybody who was in the comments. I'm sorry I'm on the cell phone and I couldn't read them. I'm blind as a bat. So I'm going to be getting in some Sananga to shoot it in my eyes and make my eyes healthy again. But in the intro, I'm blind as a bat.
And my eyes have gone bad with my lights.
Oh, dude, get some grow glasses. Come on, man. Yeah. They really, go check out Method 7. They're like $45 a pair, and they work. It's kind of like same as, snowboarding for me. You get some ski goggles, and your eyes adjust to the goggle lenses, and then all of a sudden everything looks clear, and the sun and the white snow is burning your retinas.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend grow glasses. It changed me. I mean, I need to get another pair, but it definitely changed my perspective on wearing sunglasses inside the grow room, because those that weren't doing it for me, I was like, this isn't protecting me that well. It's like I'm still staring at a sun that's twice as intense as the actual sun, it feels like.
Yeah.
And then started getting those glasses, and or I got a pair of those, and it just changed my whole perspective on wearing grow glasses, staring at these LEDs. And I already got baby blues, so my eyes are sensitive.
Right.
So, I can't even go to the beach without wearing sunglasses while I'm swimming in the water, because if I come out of the water, I look at the beach, my eyes hurt.
Yeah.
So it's I do get looks sometimes where it's just why is he, that guy wearing sunglasses while the waves are crashing on? He's gonna lose those. I don't care. I got to wear them or I can't see anything. Because otherwise I'm like this. I barely peek out of a little corner of my eye, and I can't see, and then it hurts. I get pain in my eyes. So it's either wear sunglasses or I'm leaving. But not every day.
As long as you haven't had LASIK, I'm going to bring some stuff to the event, okay? There's this stuff from South America called Sananga, and it's supposed to be like amazing for your vision. So
Supposed to fix your eyes.
Like I have great
Disclaimer.
20/20. It's just sensitivity. Like I can shoot long distance too. I was in the military and stuff. Like I got great eyesight. It's just when it's too bright, too white, too beachy, it actually does bring me physical pain. It's like the back of my retina just on fire. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm just gonna wear ski goggles next time. But I think that's a good time to call it a night, and thank everybody in the audience again for hanging out, for chatting, for chiming in, or just
thank
being
you
here.
for having us, guys. We appreciate it. And thank you for all my friends and church members, if you guys were there, and anybody who put comments. I wasn't able to answer you guys, but I love y'all.
Daniel, thank you for taking time out of your night, and both of you guys, can we spread the knowledge. And thank you, Vixen and Crimson, for always putting up great work, bro. You guys are awesome.
Happy to be here, man, and I'm excited for the next Growmie getaway. I'm already planning things in my head right now, not physically, but financially, I'm thinking about how I'm pulling that and budgeting. But what? Oh, that was that one. Never mind. I thought that was Vixen.
I'm throwing my voice,
She's snapping right now.
Thank you again, guys, for coming on. We're going to call it a night. Much love to you all. Tune in 2 weeks.
Yes,
2 weeks from
November
today,
11th.
part 2.
November 11th at 7 p.m. We'll put it up on the site so everybody can find it. And I will make a post so you guys can submit questions. And then I will keep track of them all.
Yes,
get them over
yeah, we're going to preload next episode.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all then.
All right. See you
Good
guys.
night.